Hello and welcome to Story Rhyme with Brendan, where I read a story or poem for you. This time I'll read the poem called The Ballad of Sir Andrew Barton by an unknown English writer. I was listening to the Fantays book by George MacDonald. In that there was a quote by Sir Andrew that piqued my interest to read about the poem. In the 19th century, the poem was collected in Child's Ballads. It's reference number 167. Andrew Barton, he was a Scottish pirate in the 13th and 14th centuries. Not to be confused with another famous Andrew Barton, a famous Australian poet that went by the pen name Benjamin Patterson. The poem is about merchants asking an English king for help against a Scottish pirate. Some definitions for simplicity. The rood is Christ's cross. A penny is worth about 1 cent, a day's wages. And a shilling is worth about 10 cents. A crown is about 25 cents. 4 crowns in a pound, and a pound back then could buy a horse, or an average worker's wages for about 100 days. A pinnace is a rowboat. The top castle is a crow's nest. A Gordon refers to a Scotsman. The phrase "spread out your ancients" means show your clan's flag, and Portingals means Portuguese. Oh, that's it. Let's begin. Andrew Barton. As it befell in midsummer time, when birds sing sweetly on every tree, our noble king, King Henry VIII, over the river of Thames passed he. He was no sooner over the river, down in the forest to take the air, but 80 merchants of London city came kneeling before King Henry there. O ye are welcome, rich merchants, good sailors, welcome unto me. They swore by the rood they were sailors good, but rich merchants they could not be. To France nor Flanders dare we not pass, nor Bordeaux voyage we dare not fare, and all for a false robber that lies on the seas, and robs us of our merchants' ware. King Henry was stout, and he turned him about, and swore by the Lord that was mickle of might. I thought he had not been in the world throughout, that durst have wrought England such unright. But ever they sighed, and said, alas, unto King Henry this answer again, he is a proud Scot, that will rob us all, if we were 20 ships, and he but one. The king looked over his left shoulder, amongst his lords and barons so free, have I never lord in all my realm, will fetch yon traitor unto me? Yes, that dare I, says my Lord Charles Howard, near to the king whereas he did stand. If that your grace will give me leave, myself will be the only man. Thou shalt have 600 men, saith our king, and choose them out of our realm so free, besides mariners and boys to guide the great ship on the sea. I'll go speak with Sir Andrew, says Charles, my Lord Howard. Upon the sea, if he be there, I will bring him and his ships to shore, or before my prince I will never come near. The first of all my lord did call, a noble gunner he was one. This man was 80 years and 10, and Peter Simon was his name. Peter, says he, I must sail to the sea, to seek out an enemy. God be my speed. Before all others I have chosen thee. Of 100 gunners thou'st be my head. My lord, says he, if you have chosen me, of 100 gunners to be the head, hang me at your mainmast tree. If I miss my mark, pass 3 pence bread. The next of all my lord he did call, a noble bowman he was one. In Yorkshire was this gentleman born, and William Horsley was his name. Horsley, says he, I must sail to the sea, to seek out an enemy. God be my speed. Before all others I have chosen thee. Of 100 bowmen thou'st be my head. My lord, says he, if you have chosen me, of 100 bowmen to be the head, Hang me at your mainmast tree, if I miss my mark past 12 pence bread. With pikes and guns and bowmen bold, as no more Howard is gone to the sea, on the day before midsummer even, and out of Thames mouth sailed they. They had not sailed days 3, upon their journey they took in hand, but there they met with a noble ship, a stoutly made, it both stay and stand. Thou must tell me thy name, said Charles, my Lord Howard, or who thou art, or from whence thou came, yea, and where thy dwelling is, to whom and where thy ship does belong. My name, says he, is Henry Hunt, with a pure heart and a penitent mind. I and my ship they do belong, unto the Newcastle that stands upon Tyne. Now thou must tell me, Harry Hunt, as thou hast sailed by day and by night, hast thou not heard of a stout robber? Men calls him Sir Andrew Barton, knight. But ever he sighed and said, alas, full well, my lord, I know that wight. He robbed me of my merchant's ware, and I was his prisoner but yesternight. As I was sailing upon the sea, and aboard a voyage as I did fare, he clasped me to his arch-board, and robbed me of all my merchant's ware. And I am a man both poor and bare, and every man will have his owner of me, and I am bound towards London to fare, to complain to my Prince Henry. Thou shalt not need, says my Lord Howard, if thou canst let me this robber see, for every penny he hath taken thee from, thou shalt be rewarded a shilling, quoth he. Now God forfend, says Henry Hunt, my lord, ye should work so far amiss. God keep you out of that traitor's hands, for you wot full little what a man he is. He is brass within and steel without, and beams he bears in his top castle strong. His ship hath ordnance clean round about. Beside my lord, he is very well manned. He hath a pinnace, is dearly dight, Sir Andrew's cross, that is his guide. His pinnace bears 90 men and more, besides 15 cannons on every side. If you were 20 ships, and he but one, either in ark-board or in hall, he would overcome you every one, and if his beams they do downfall. This is cold comfort, says my Lord Howard, to welcome a stranger thus to the sea. I'll bring him and his ships to shore, or else into Scotland he shall carry me. Then you must get a noble gunner, my lord, that can set well with his eye, and sink his pinnace into the sea, and soon then overcome he be. And when that you have done this, if you chance Sir Andrew for to board, let no man to his topcastle go, and I will give a glass, my lord. And then you need to fear no Scot, whether you sail by day or by night. And tomorrow when, by 7 of the clock, you shall meet with Sir Andrew Barton, knight. I was his prisoner but yesternight, and he hath taken me sworn, quoth he. I trust my Lord God will be forgive, and if that oath then broken be, you must lend me 6 pieces, my lord, quoth he, into my ship to sail the sea, and tomorrow by 9 of the clock your honour again then will I see. And the hatch-board where Sir Andrew lay is hatched with gold dearly dight. Now by my faith, Charles, my Lord Howard, then yonder Scot is a worthy wight. Taking your ancients and your standards, yea, that no man shall them see, and put me forth a white willow wand, as merchants used to sail the sea. But they stirred neither top nor mast, but Sir Andrew they passed by. What English are yonder, said Sir Andrew, that can so little courtesy? I have been admiral over the sea more than these years 3. There is never an English dog, nor Portingal, can pass this way without leave of me. But now yonder pedlars, they are past, which is no little grief to me. Fetch them back, says Sir Andrew Barton, they shall all hang at my mainmast tree. With that the pinnace it shot off, that my Lord Howard might it well keen. it stroked down my lord's foremast, and killed 14 of my lord his men. Come hither, Simon, says my lord Howard. Look that thy words be true thou said. I'll hang thee at my mainmast tree, if thou miss thy mark past 12 pence bread. Simon was old, but his heart it was bold. He took down a piece and laid it full low. He put in chain yards 9, beside other great shot less and more. With that he let his gunshot go, so well he settled it with his eye. The first sight that Sir Andrew saw, he see his pinnace sunk in the sea. When he saw his pinnace sunk, Lord, in his heart he was not well. Cut my ropes, it is time to be gone. I'll go fetch yon pedlars back myself. And my Lord Howard saw Sir Andrew lose, Lord, in his heart that he was fain. Strike on your drums, spread out your ancients, sound out your trumpets, sound out amain. Fight on, my men, says Sir Andrew Barton. We'd howsoever this gear will sway. It is my Lord Admiral of England is come to seek me on the sea. Simon had a son with a shot of a gun. Well, Sir Andrew might it can. He shot it in at a privy pace, and killed 60 more of Sir Andrew's men. Harry Hunt came in at the other side. At Sir Andrew he shot then. He drove down his foremast tree, and killed 80 more of Sir Andrew's men. I have done a good turn, says Harry Hunt. Sir Andrew is not our knight's friend. He hoped to have undone me yesternight, but I hope I have quit him well in the end. Ever alas, said Sir Andrew Barton, what should a man either think or say? Yonder false thief is my strongest enemy, who was my prisoner but yesterday. Come hither to me, thou Gordon good, and be thou ready at my call, and I will give thee 300 if thou wilt let my beams down fall. With that he swarmed the mainmast tree, so did he it with might and main, hoarsely with a bearing arrow, stroke the Gordon through the brain. And he fell into the hatches again, and saw of this wound that he did bleed. Then word went through Sir Andrew's men, that the Gordon he was dead. Come hither to me, James Hambleton. Thou art my sister's son. I have no more. I will give thee 600 if thou wilt let my beams down fall. With that he swarmed the mainmast tree, so did he it with might and main, hoarsely with another broad arrow, strake the yeoman through the brain. That he fell down to the hatches again, saw of his wound that he did bleed. Covetousness gets no gain. It is very true, as the Welshman said. But when he saw his sister's son slain, Lord, in his heart he was not well. Go fetch me down my armour of proof, for I will to the top castle myself. Go fetch me down my armour of proof, for it is gilded with gold so clear. God be with my brother, John of Barton, amongst the Portingals he did it wear. But when he had his armour of proof, and on his body he had it on, every man that looked at him said, gun or arrow he needs fear none. Come hither hoarsely, says my Lord Howard, and look your shaft that it go right. Shoot a good shot, good in the time of need, and for thy shooting thou'st be made a knight. I'll do my best, says hoarsely then, your honour shall see before I go. If I should be hanged at your mainmast, I have in my ship but arrows too. But at Sir Andrew he shot then, he made sure to hit his mark. Under the spoke of his right arm, he smote Sir Andrew quite through the heart. Yet from the tree he would not start, but he clinged to it with might and main. Under the collar then of his jack, he stroked Sir Andrew through the brain. Fight on, my men, says Sir Andrew Barton. I am hurt, but I am not slain. I'll lay me down and bleed a while, and then I'll rise and fight again. Fight on, my men, says Sir Andrew Barton. These English dogs, they bite so low. Fight on for Scotland and St. Andrew till you hear my whistle blow. But when they could not hear his whistle blow, says Harry Hunt, I'll lay my head you my board yonder noble ship, my lord. I know Sir Andrew he is dead. With that they boarded his noble ship. So did they it with might and main, and found 18 Scots alive, besides the rest were maimed and slain. My Lord Howard took sword in his hand, and smote off Sir Andrew's head. And Scots stood by, and did weep and mourn, but never a word durst speak or say. He caused his body to be taken down, and over the hatchboard cast into the sea, and about his middle 300 crowns, wheresoever thou lands, it will bury thee. With his head they sailed into England again, with right good will and force and main, and the day before New Year's even, into Thames mouth they came again. My Lord Howard wrote to King Henry's grace, with all the news he could him bring. Such a New Year's gift I have brought to your grace, as never did subject to any king. For merchants and manhood, the like is not to be found. The sight of these would do you good, for you have not the like in your English ground. But when he heard tell that they were come, full royally he welcomed them home. Sir Andrew's ship was the king's New Year's gift, a braver ship you never saw none. Now hath our king Sir Andrew's ship, beset with pearls and precious stones. Now hath England 2 ships of war, 2 ships of war before but one. Who helped to this, says King Henry, that I may reward him for his pain? Harry Hunt and Peter Simon, William Horsley, and I the same. Harry Hunt shall have his whistle and chain, and all his jewels whatsoever they be, and other rich gifts that I will not name, for his good service he hath done me. Horsley right thou'st be a knight, lands and living thou shalt have store. Howard shall be Earl of Nottingham, and so was never Howard before. Now Peter Simon, thou art old, I will maintain thee and thy son. Thou shalt have £500 all in gold, for the good service that thou hast done. Then King Henry shifted his room. In came the Queen and ladies bright, other errands they had none, but to see Sir Andrew Barton knight. But when they see his deadly face, his eyes were hollow in his head. I would give £100, said King Henry, the man were alive as he is dead. Yet for the manful part that being played, both here and beyond the sea, his men shall have half a crown a day, to bring them to my brother, King Jamie. Well, that was the poem. If you liked it, pop in the comments what you thought of the poem, and I wish you well.